All right, good evening, South Texas, and happy Tuesday. I hope your day went well. It was a gorgeous day, just a little bit on the warm side at times, where we had temperatures rise all the way up into the lower 90s. We did start off the day, though, fairly cool, 61 degrees there. I see a few people already joining in on our live update for tonight. Of course, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, the Kents 5 app, and on Kents5.com, wherever you're watching us from. I hope you're doing well tonight. So, temperatures were warm. We were well above average. The average there, 86 degrees, but we hit 91. We were closer to that record of 95 set back in 1893. Very close to a record that has been standing for quite some time now, even more than 100 years. But did not quite make it. Just hitting 91 for today. No rain in the rain gauge, of course. A lot in the air that could be bothering your allergens. You may notice that in my voice. My allergies have been acting up today. Mold's coming in at a heavy level, ragweed at a medium, as well as fall elm, and then grass in at light levels. So likely going to continue to have at least a medium level of molds for tomorrow. Ragweed and fall elm likely not going down anytime soon, as long as we have winds coming more out of the north. And then grass, well, it's just kind of holding on for one last breath here as we start to move out of summer months. But as long as these temperatures are in the 90s, it's likely going to stick around. The air quality may be poor for tomorrow. This is important to note too. If allergens are getting you right now, well, you may also end up with an additional issue tomorrow because we are expecting increased levels of ozone. With high pressure right over our region and a lot of sunshine, sometimes we have these ozone action days, and tomorrow is going to be one of those days where increased levels of air pollution could be possible in the atmosphere and kind of closer on down to the surface and impacting people who may have COPD or asthma. So be ready for that. Taking a look out across the region, northwest San Antonio, not looking too bad as we look towards downtown. Of course, a lot of clear sky overhead, but it's hard to see that just because now that it's nighttime across the region. 66 in Bernie, 72 in Kerrville, and 69 in Fredericksburg. Meanwhile, it's 82 still in Cotulla and Pearsall, 77 here in the Alamo City, and 78 in Uvalde. Areas east of I-35, a little bit cooler, seeing some more of those 70s across the board. Dew points still very low, 40s to 50s pretty much across the region, with some 60s even down toward Victoria and Port Lavaca. So drier air mass means that we have more fluctuation in temperatures. We'll see temperatures drop all the way down to the lower 60s for tonight. The muggy meter shows that we continue to have the drier air at least until Friday and then into Saturday. That's going to be when winds switch more to the southeast and brings better rain chances back into the forecast. But of course, for tonight, radar's looking clear. Satellite and radar trying to show some green here across Texas. That is false returns, or those are false returns rather. Not actually seeing any rain. The closest rain to us, closer on over towards El Paso. And then you'll see this spin in the atmosphere that's occurring over the states of Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, into Alabama and Tennessee. This spin right here. That is going to be that upper level low pressure that we've been talking about here for the last few days. And there it is on the upper level map. I'll go ahead and circle it one more time. Right here. That little bullseye is the upper level low. And because we are on the west side of this, we're on the drier side, it's going to put a lot of heavy rain off into Georgia, the Carolinas, portions of Alabama and Florida. But we stay on the dry side of it with a weak ridge over the state of Texas, which is why we have high pressure. Well, this area of low pressure is going to eventually get caught up in the jet stream and swept away. Meanwhile, another trough is setting up here over the western portion of the United States. You see that little dip there with the green coming down into portions of Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and then the yellow is dipping all the way down closer on to Los Angeles. That is a dip in the atmosphere, or a trough, that's going to swing across the United States as we head into the end of the weekend and early next week. And it will bring us some rain chances, but it's not looking like we'll see too much on the amounts, unfortunately, unless that trough manages to swing a little bit further down to the south. So here's what we have as far as the future clouds and radar is concerned. Again, a little bit of chances for cloud cover, maybe to start off with on Wednesday, but we'll stay dry, 50s and 60s. But we'll see a mostly sunny sky for the afternoon on Wednesday. Temperatures rising into the upper 80s, lower 90s. And then we do it again as we head throughout the day there on Thursday, starting off with 50s and 60s and then 80s to 90s for highs. Not too much rain over the next 7 days rather. Next 48 hours brings nothing. And then the next 7 days showing us 1/4 of an inch of rain or less across the region. Not good news. We need more rainfall. The aquifer continues to tumble. And of course, it has been a dry past 2 months. We need more rain for October to try to catch up. We are still ahead for the year, but only by barely. If we go these next few days without much more rainfall, we are going to fall behind for the year. It's still amazing to me that more than half of the rainfall that we have had so far this year only occurred in 3 months, April, May, and July. So we need more rainfall, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be in the cards for us, at least for the next week. Moderate drought still along the Rio Grande there for Maverick and Valverde counties, and everybody else pretty much in abnormally dry conditions or not in any dry conditions at all for portions of the hill country. You see parts of the Lone Star State now seeing severe drought, mainly closer on towards our neighbors in Amarillo. Here's that aquifer that we just talked about. 659.9 feet is what it was at today. So the 10-day average continues to struggle at 658.9 feet. Remember, that's the magic number. The 10-day average is what matters for these Stage 1 water restrictions you're seeing here at the top of the graphic. Stage 1 water restrictions will remain in place until that 10-day average gets above 660, and I don't see it getting back above it, maybe even all the way through the end of October. We do have some promising rain chances later on in the month, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to really bump up that aquifer too much. Let's hope things change. Looking at the tropical outlook, we do have a low chance for tropical development just north of the Bahamas and off the coast of the Carolinas over the next 5 days. It's only a 10% chance, though. If the system does manage to form into anything, it would earn the name of Wanda. That would be the last name on the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season list, but right now, not really a threat from that, and no threat to Texas, at least, even if it does form. So here's your 7-day forecast. I told you we were going to have some rain chances in there, but they're not very high. 20% chances for rain Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, where temperatures still remain above average. Lower 90s for highs all throughout the week. That is above average for this time of year. Temperatures into the mid-80s is where we should be, so well above average. Now, what about the trends? What about for the rest of the month of October, from day 8 through day 14, and not necessarily the rest of the month, but really middle to the end of the month? It's looking like we could start to see a little bit of a wetter pattern, but like I said, I don't know if it's going to be enough to really boost the aquifer too much. Above average rainfall possible there from day 8 through day 14, and above average temperatures too, which means that this trend of upper 80s to lower 90s for highs could stretch even into the middle to the end of October. The Lone Star 3-day forecast, of course, we're through today, but Wednesday and Thursday showing that we'll continue to have 80s and 90s for highs across the state, and everybody stays dry just like us. So the high pressure not just impacting South Texas, but the entire Lone Star State. Your Texas State Park forecast showing 60s for lows tomorrow morning across much of the hill country, and then 50s as well in some spots. This is going to be a few hours into the day. That's why it's showing those 60s and 70s. But in the afternoon, 80s and 90s for highs, a very warm day. Maybe you're trying to fit in one last run to the beach here as we head throughout the end of the summer months. And if you are, this weekend is looking like it will be perfect for it. Take a look at South Padre on Sunday, 88 for the high. That is going to be great weather to be out on the beach, tons of sunshine to go around. You see that it's going to be dry pretty much for Saturday and Sunday in pretty much every location with just a 10 to 20% chance for rain. Those aren't very high rain chances for the beach, and lots of sunshine to go around. Should be beautiful if you're headed down there. Mid-80s, a little cool. Lower to mid-80s, a little cool for me if you're going to be headed down to Port Aransas and Galveston. I typically like it to be really warm if I'm going to be going swimming in the ocean, or the Gulf of Mexico rather. But South Padre looking great as we make our way into the weekend. So guys, I'm going to bump it back up on the 7-day forecast. I hope you can have a wonderful rest of your evening here. Again, temperatures will drop down into the 60s and 50s for tonight. Should be a nice evening. We have a stretch of nice and cool mornings all the way through Saturday. But notice those southeasterly winds for Friday and Saturday. That's going to start to bring in more moisture. It's going to start to feel a lot more humid by the time we head into Sunday. So enjoy the drier, I know it's not crisp air, but the drier air, as long as it's still around before the humidity really starts to climb up for the end of the week and into the weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and don't forget, KENS 5 News is on at 10 o'clock tonight with the latest update to the forecast as well as news in the region. A lot going on right now. You want to make sure you stay updated with it. So we'll have the latest update on news and weather coming up here in just about, say, 45 minutes now, a little less than that, just in about 40 minutes. And be sure to tune into that. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll keep you updated on everything right here at KENS 5.